Have you ever caught yourself soaring through the air? Or maybe standing on the edge of a cliff with no harness? Or possibly driving through some of the roughest terrain in the world? My name is Stone Rains. I was born in Tennessee. I lived in Tennessee for 6 years. And after I lived there for 6 years, I moved to Texas. I started first grade in Texas and went all the way until I graduated. And I am in a family of five, with me being the fifth one. I go to Blinn College and I'm a freshman. Two things I would like to say would describe me is I'm an adrenaline junkie. I love things that get my heart pumping fast, and I love it when my stomach's tickling. Another thing I like to think would describe me is I'm respectful. I try to keep it respectful because I believe that people who are respectful will have more friends in life and also be looked upon as a better person. I'd like to believe that I was born as an adrenaline junkie, but I always need someone to egg me on. I need someone to go the extra mile, come with me and give me motivation. And there'd be no other better person to do that than my brother. As I was a kid, my brother and I would go explore in the woods. But as I got a tad older, I learned how to do more and more crazy things. When I was about 6 years old, it was my first time ever hopping on a four-wheeler. And my brother had to ride on the back because I was too young to drive it by myself. So we're driving through this field, and we get to the end of the field, and there's a jump. I look back at my brother as we're going, and he says, "Nail it!" So I hit the gas real hard, and we jump up in the air, and we land on the left two wheels. I look back as we're cruising, and he's smiling from ear to ear, but yet he's squeezing me so tightly because I know his heart is pounding and his stomach is tickling. Another more recent time that I've seeked adrenaline would be this summer. My family and I were big motor enthusiasts. We love cars, love trucks, love any type of motor you can believe. So this summer we decided to take a Jeep trip to Buena Vista, Colorado, and go through the Continental Divide on our Jeeps. My brother and I were in one, and my sister, mom, and dad were in the other Jeep. But as we're driving miles up through the Continental Divide, through all this crazy terrain, we get to the tree line, and that's where the tree stops because there's no more oxygen, or less oxygen. As I'm driving through the trail, I look to the left over the passenger door, and I notice there's nothing there. It is a thousands of feet drop. And if you make one wrong turn, you hit a rock the wrong way, bump the wheel the wrong way, you're dead. That's it. There's no more to it. As we're driving this trail, my brother and I look at each other and smile. We didn't even have to say words because we knew that this was one of those moments that your adrenaline was truly pumping. The other thing is being respectful. My dad has taught me ever since I was born to be respectful. Always. There's one thing that he doesn't like in his house is being disrespectful. He won't put up with it in his house. And I've been raised to be respectful. A recent time, I got invited to go to a family's house for a study. And, I walk in the house, they feed me, we do the study, they let me in their house. And as I leave, I shake the husband's hand and I say, "Thank you for the food and thank you for letting me in your house." I do go up to the wife and I do the same. So as I was walking out the door, I noticed some people were walking out behind me. And I was walking out to my car and I was thinking, no one else shook their hand and said, "Thank you for the meal and thank you for letting me in your house." And they told me, Stone, you're welcome back anytime. You're welcome. And no one else probably got that same response that I did. Another time I can remember being respectful is there's a guy at church at my hometown that invites me to go out to his ranch every so often. So, of course, I go. And when I get there, he tells me, now, Stone, I have very few rules here. But if you abide by those rules, you're welcome back anytime you want. But if you do not, you're not welcome back. I said, yes, sir. I completely understand. So we go on, and we do what we do, four-wheel, ride dirt bikes, whatever. And we get back, I say, thank you for letting me use your property. And he says, no problem, Stone. But as I was driving home, I was thinking, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to be respectful towards him was because I didn't want him to go to bed at nighttime being angry. Yes, it would be cool to come back. It's always cool to come back. But more so, I didn't want him to go to bed angry. I guess you could describe me as a respectful, adrenaline-seeking enthusiast. Thank you for listening to me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and many more to come. Thank you.